Oh my God, we're back again. Shade. What is happening?
What? I'm done. Dead.
Hey, MsMojo fans, it's Eliza.
And Sam here to give you our thoughts on the second premiere of season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Needless to say, there is a spoiler alert in order. We will be discussing specific details from the episode.
So stick around with us and we will give you our thoughts on the episode as well as our ranking leaderboard to show you who is winning this competition so far. Right off the top, we have some controversies to address. The story broke before the episode aired yesterday that Sherry Pie has been involved in some scandals and has thus been disqualified from Drag Race this season.
These are very serious allegations and Sherry has admitted wrongdoing. So out of respect for the other queens, we don't want to dwell too much on it. We really want to obviously acknowledge it, but focus on the other queens and their performance in the competition.
Are you ready to meet the other queens? No.
Workroom entrances.
Workroom entrances! We have the second batch of queens coming in today, starting off with the one, the only, Rock'em Sakura.
All talk and no play makes Rock'em a crazy bitch!
I love her energy, love her vibe.
Oh yeah. Cute and kooky and jumping all over things.
Just bouncing around like a big old anime character.
Next we had Miss Dahlia Sin and ooh dang, those shoes, I was in love.
Are you ready to live a little?
I guess all I gotta say is it's 5 o'clock somewhere and that place seems to be Dahlia's face.
Oh damn.
They called it out with Jackie last week.
This is gonna be the bane of your existence.
The whole episode they didn't mention it with Dahlia, so I'm gonna bring it up. Girl, you gotta fix it. This is some 5 o'clock shade right here.
Next we had Jan, and I think Jan is adorable. So sparkly, so full of energy, can sing, and so very cute out of drag, but more on that later.
I was not a big fan of Jan when she walked in. I get you're trying to be sporty. I loved her energy. She walked in and I'm like, is that what you chose as your workroom entrance?
Get out of here, I love Jan. Next up we had Jada Essence Hall, who was stunning. She's here. I was very much in love with the textured hair up in the sequin head wrap. She is just delicious.
Those shoulders were a snack.
Oh, the shoulders.
I'm wearing something that's off the shoulder so you can catch all of these shoulders and all of that good juice off here.
Jada looked gorgeous walking in the workroom, but whenever she says,
The essence of beauty.
all I can think of is,
Moisture is the essence of wetness, and wetness is the essence of beauty.
sorry Jada.
Next we had Aiden Zane.
Season 12 is about to be insane.
She looked a little out of her depth. Maybe it's the other queen just trying to get in her head.
I feel like they were trying to cast doubt on Aiden's ability, which makes me think Aiden is actually gonna be a superstar. The fish they're serving us today is red herring. I thought to myself, baloney.
Baloney!
And don't forget, we are doing a top 20 list on best workroom entrances, so let us know in the comments below who you thought had the best workroom entrance this week. So we had the mini challenge, which was a spring fall runway again. I actually thought it would be winter summer to contrast from the first episode.
Rock'em coming out with her colorful runway. Love Rock, she's coming out with such a vibe, a presence, a personality.
I really loved the drawing that she did herself on the outfit too. For me, it was actually the fall outfit. I thought the skirts didn't quite fit. Next, we had Dahlia Sin. I really loved her spring look. The color was popping, the booty was popping. Must say, the judges liked her fall look, thought it was very fashion. For me, I thought it was a little, I don't know, pom-pom-y, but that's just me.
The fall look for me seems like a bit of a big swing. It didn't hit for me. I guess the judges felt differently.
I loved your Sissy That Sasquatch fur number.
Jan was super cute in both looks. I thought it was interesting how she said she had a girl next door vibe, because I was like, girl, you are way sexier than the girl next door.
Yeah, that's none of my neighbors. I loved the spring look. I loved the fall look. I called it the Jan before time. She was really proving her versatility on these runways. I started out thinking Jan was basic, but these runway looks started to win me over.
Yes.
Jada!
Jada Essence Hall.
The essence of beauty.
The essence of beauty.
All I wrote down in my notes for her spring look was all caps, damn! And the fall look was friggin' opulence.
Totally gorge, honey.
Oh, yeah.
giving me that fantasy, giving me that illusion.
Next we had Aiden Zane. I thought she looked like a cute little Teletubby in the spring look, and in the fall look, every separate thing she was wearing, if I'd seen it in a store, I would have been like, oh God, it's hideous. When she put them all together, I just thought it worked.
I love a poncho moment, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it came all together for me. Where were her pants?
Somewhere, there's a bunch of tea kettles that have no clothes on right now.
We get to see the queens out of drag. Trade time. Love this.
I can smell the trade in the room.
RuCap Sakura. Ooh, look good in a tank top.
I just want to grab onto those shoulders.
Jan, so beautiful and such kind eyes. Last week, Sam was thirsting over Nikki Doll. Now I'm like, Jan, in drag, out of drag.
Get yourself a Jan who can do both. One thing I love about Jan's confessional look is the eyebrows are so on point. She has a highbrow talent.
And Aiden is completely adorable.
Cutie nerd punk.
Yeah, love it.
The week 1 challenge for these queens was similar to last week, but instead of rapping in choreo, they're doing their own Chicago-style cell block tango number with choreo.
Jan said it best.
We have to choreograph this number ourselves, and this is day 1. We just met each other 3 seconds ago.
I said it last week, I mean it. This is challenging.
They kind of all came together, but then Jada was the one that seemed to be throwing a wrench in it.
She did get frustrated. She did get a little bit salty, it seemed.
Whatever she was doing, it seemed to work. She made sure that she came out looking good. I think that's where they were serving us red herring though.
My poor Aiden is not a dancer.
I don't get it. I repeat, I'm not a dancer.
You better learn.
Also, poor Rock.
I feel bad because I feel like I'm responsible for this.
Sorry, guys. During that segment, we saw Rock really took it hard and really blamed herself and felt really responsible.
Rock really opened up and gave a bit of her backstory.
My mother was addicted to meth, and she would say, I'm addicted to drugs because of you.
Almost tearing up just watching her talk about her backstory.
I didn't realize until yesterday that I have these triggers when I feel responsible for other people.
And I loved seeing the other queens support her as well. Jada was right there by her side, giving her kind words.
You are not responsible for anybody else's baggage.
I loved Jan's vibe in the workroom. You could tell she was actively listening and being a part of this discussion. It was just a really good, wholesome family moment.
Yeah.
If anything, yesterday I was more offended by your farts. Those are what you should have apologized for.
So now we are on the runway.
With our celebrity judges, Tandy Newton and Miss Robyn.
The one, the only.
Stop bente det här nu.
Oh, excuse me, what does that mean?
Ru, it's just, don't f it up.
Michelle Visage looked stunning. The black hair, the white dress, the red lips. Mwah, love.
They had it coming.
All along. Also known as You Don't Know Me.
Who were your favorite verses, Eliza?
I thought that Aiden turned it out, had some sass, had some attitude.
Oh, that's me.
Costume was maybe a little saggy, maybe some rip tights, I don't know.
What was that about?
But I did like the performance.
Dahlia Sin. I know it wasn't meant to be funny, but she cracked me up when she started her verse. Like, what was that? Ooh. She made pheromone seem like Al Green. And again, Dahlia with the 5 o'clock shadow. It's not shade if it's shadow. Jada showed she was more than just the one-trick look pony.
Absolutely.
Which is exactly what you need from a challenge like this.
Jan, I just have to say, looked absolutely gorgeous. She can sing.
And did I mention you'll be gagging when I start to say you think you love me?
From the beginning of this episode to the end, I pulled a full 180 on my thoughts on Jan. Sorry, me from 10 minutes ago. I have no choice but to stan Jan.
There's no choice but to stand.
Team Jan.
RuCap was one of my favorite ones.
The name's RuCap Sakura, see?
The splits, the death drop, pulling out all her bag of tricks. I'm here for the fart jokes, by the way. Sorry, Michelle.
A high kick to a fart that can send a grown man back home to his mama.
It came with a squat. It integrated into the dance. How do you find this challenge compared to I'm That Bitch?
For me, the rap number had a little more energy. It felt a little more relevant. I got to see more of the queens doing their thing rather than fitting into a different thing. The girls did their song, and then we got to see their runway looks. Category is Tool! Tool time, baby.
Aiden was the first up, and Aiden came out in a glamour look. Aiden showed us, boom, look at that. I can do quirky, I can do glamour. Here you go.
I love the two-tone color look with Aiden. Elegant, simple, love that.
Dahlia
Dahlia Sin. I don't even remember her runway look.
It was red. It was like very 80s. It had the thigh-high red patent leather boots. It was sexy.
She looked like a cheaper version of RuPaul's character in AJ and the Queen.
Shade!
Ooh. How dare you? I like Jan's look just because it stood out. Everyone was going for the beautiful frilly dresses. Jan's like, no, I'm gonna literally bring tools on stage. I felt she kind of stood out, but just by default.
I thought it was really smart what she did. It was really clever. Everyone came in the big poofy ball gowns and she was like, I'm gonna do construction worker realness.
Speaking of big poofy ball gowns, Rock'em Sakura coming out. I love that silhouette.
Okay, I loved it too. You could still see a silhouette. It wasn't like a Miss Vanjie where you couldn't see anything. She was like a bath poof. You could just lather yourself up.
I'd like to scrub myself with that. Jada.
Oh, Jada.
Gorgeous model. Linda Evangelista.
Beautiful, classic prom queen.
Even though she didn't have a creative take on the tool, she just put all of her essence of beauty into it. I'm living.
One thing that really made me laugh is we were worried about Rock'em's meaty tuck. Turns out Aiden was the one with perhaps too meaty tuck for the judge's liking.
You had a very meaty tuck. It could use some work.
Need to make sure that tuck is regulation. Personally verify.
Also, the judges talked a lot about Jan and how ambitious Jan is.
Ooh, Jan wants to win.
I think Jan wants my seat.
She showed off all her skills. She's kind of like a Drag Race superfan, A+ student, and she's ready.
I just really, really want to pay attention to the details. This is my favorite show. I listen to the critiques, and I want to apply them to myself every time I step on the runway.
There have been queens in the past that have said, I studied every episode, and they don't last too long. Jan doesn't seem like that. It seems like on top of being an amazing drag artist, she also knows the game.
Aiden got a great critique, and I feel like Aiden's just got that thing.
What the French call a certain, I don't know what. Je ne sais quoi.
Team Aiden. We also saw the queens experience a similar terror to the queens of last week, except this time, of course, we had the foresight to know that everything was probably gonna be fine, and it was top 2.
They still got me, though, with the sound effect.
You may join the other girls.
On to that lip sync, Call Your Girlfriend by Robyn.
I thought it was a good job, solid.
We have last week to compare it to.
Yeah.
And didn't quite cut the mustard for me.
Oh yeah, the bar was set very, very high last week, so it is a bit tough, but I do think Jada was awesome with just ripping off the skirt, doing the splits.
I think everyone who was watching last night was a little off put whenever Sherry came on screen.
Yeah, definitely.
It was interesting to see Jada do a lip sync against someone who's not in the competition.
A lip sync against no one, how unusual.
So crazy how Jada was just up on stage all by herself.
Dancing on her own, perhaps.
Jada was the clear winner. I think
definitely.
we're all glad to see it.
So at the end of the episode when Ru said,
if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else? And speaking of somebody else.
And I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, is this it? Is this it? Is it the 14th queen? And as it turned out, it was just the 7 queens from last week. And they had kind of a West Side Story, like gangs facing off, sharks and jets moment.
There's too many bitches in the workroom. We gonna send them home.
I got to see my lovely Nikki doll again. Just calling out all the other girls.
Same, camp, same. Next.
Dang.
Nikki, I love you. So on to our leaderboard. Let's get those points up and see who is where. Jada won the lip sync, giving her 2 points, and now she is tied for first with Widow Von Du. Since the person that Jada was lip syncing against is disqualified, no one else gets points this week. Who were your favorite queens from the second premiere? How did you like this premiere next to the other one?
Please let us know in the comments below.
And be sure to like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
Because you know we're gonna be here every Saturday recapping season 12 of RuPaul's Drag Race.
Bye.
Bye.